It's been a rough week for educators as they're told to do an about-face with the new TNReady online tests. Tonight, we're getting a better idea of the challenges they face to even prepare for it. New at 6 tonight, News Channel 5's Jonquil Newland joins us from the newsroom with more on what all of this means for the teachers. Jonquil?
Well, Vicki, when the state announced plans to move towards an online testing format, many teachers I spoke to admit they were a bit skeptical. But after this week, frustration doesn't even begin to explain how many of them feel. It's being called yet another failed educational experiment. On Tuesday, Education Commissioner Candace McQueen fielded questions about how TNReady, an online testing format, went completely offline the day testing began.
This was on the heels of multiple challenges that we have had over the last several weeks to ensure that our districts and the platform connected well.
It meant going back to paper and pencil at the last minute.
I think that it's really hard for teachers not to say I told you so.
Teachers like Amanda Kale, however, reflect on how they've spent the last several months preparing for an online test.
A lot of schools like mine didn't have enough computers to test every student, so we had to come up with the computers first of all. Then we had to teach the students the computer skills to take the test, things like typing, which is not something your average fifth grader knows how to do.
Then came the practice tests.
Those practice tests, you know, when you don't have enough computers to test the whole school at one time, take weeks.
In the midst of reformatting the entire test format again, teachers are worried about their evaluations, which will come from this year's TNReady data. In a statement from the governor's office, Press Secretary Jennifer Donnell says TNReady will count for 10% of a teacher's evaluation.
Which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's enough to bring your score down enough that you might not get tenure if you're up for tenure.
An online petition calls for action from the governor to waive this year's data from teacher evaluations. Another petition calls for the resignation of Commissioner McQueen.
We really need to think about where the rubber meets the road. We need to take teachers' voices seriously.
Now, lawmakers are prepared to put forth legislation that would temporarily stop this process. In the meantime, the state is moving forward with the paper version of TNReady. Live in the newsroom, I'm Jonquil Newland, News Channel 5.